Very good morning to everyone. We once again welcome you all to the day 6 of the short-term training program on the introduction to microcontroller and its applications. We have special greetings to Mr. Chunchun Kumar, who is the resource person to handle this session. We invite you to start the session, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so today's session will be on Raspberry Pi. That is one advanced controller. So I'll talk about it. And also, as I said yesterday, so people can express their ideas and they can talk about their any project, mini project ideas or anything. And if they have any doubt related to that, also they can ask. And to know about more about controllers and all, they can post me, or they can contact their staff if they want to get some more details and reach out to me. And related to industrial practices, I will explain about how in industry they are working, how the development starts, and how that thinking will come in the line. And also, like if we are starting for any development, what do we do first, and how do we proceed, how do we make the circuit. So those details I will explain. And related to placement thing, I'll also explain like how it matters for the placement, and what kind of question they can ask in case of any interview in core company or any electronics related company. So those things I will explain today. Okay. So first I will talk about Raspberry Pi today. Okay, so that few controller part will be over. For related to Arduino, I already talked about Arduino and Arduino interfacing with sensor and actuators. And for this also, same sensors can be used, and only that programming language will differ, because for Raspberry Pi you can program in the Python, and you need operating system in this, whereas in case of Arduino you don't need operating system. So here you can see this is for display, and back side of this will be like SD card module in which you can put up your operating system. So there will be like Raspberry Pi Raspbian operating system. So you have to load the operating system in this, and you can connect it. And here this is for power pin, and you have HDMI, so you can directly connect your monitor with the Raspberry Pi. And this is for connecting camera, so you can connect Raspberry Pi camera in case of like you want any surveillance, you want a surveillance related project. You can directly connect camera here with the Raspberry Pi. And this is for audio jack. You have 3.5 mm audio jack. You can connect your headphone, you can connect external speaker, anything with this. And this is your Ethernet cable, like you can connect your Raspberry Pi to internet by Ethernet, which is coming out from the router. And here you have 4 USB pin. You can connect pen drive, you can connect keyboard, mouse, etc. You can connect with this. And then here next you can see the digital pin. This is called digital IO. Okay. So, and also it is in general terms, it is called general purpose input output pin. So all these are GPIO. So what does it mean? General purpose means you can use it as an input, and also you can use it as an output. Okay. And few pin will be power pin in this. Okay. And in Raspberry Pi, you will have 1 GB of RAM, and there will be graphics also in this, that is Broadcom, and it will be very fast compared to the Arduino. In Arduino, at a time you can run only one program, whereas in Raspberry Pi you can run multi-program. Even you can do parallel programming also at a time. At a time, many program you can run. Yeah. So so this GPIO pin we can use for interfacing with the sensor. Okay. And then we have to write a program in the Raspberry Pi itself. So you can connect your keyboard and you can connect your monitor, and with the help of that directly you can write here. So you don't need any programming cable, you don't need any additional software. Okay, so directly by logging in the Raspberry Pi you can do that. So that will be helpful. Okay, and this is not open source, so you cannot make Raspberry Pi. Okay, so this is patent product which this was developed in the UK. Okay, and there are so many versions coming in for Raspberry Pi. So it was started from normal Raspberry Pi, then Raspberry Pi 2 came, after that Raspberry Pi 3 came, now Raspberry Pi 4 also came. So there are so many versions. So it has also inbuilt Wi-Fi. You can connect your Wi-Fi, and also it has Bluetooth. So you can connect both directly. You don't need any additional Wi-Fi adapter, or you don't need any additional devices. Okay, and this will be helpful in case of IoT project. So directly you can get your internet connected to the Raspberry Pi, and directly you can upload or download data from the cloud. Okay. So now here explain about this pin. So this is your Raspberry Pi GPIO, general purpose input output pin. So you have total of 40 pin from pin number 1 to pin number 40, and also pin number will be indifferent. This will be serially 1, 2, 3, 4. So one pin will be left side, another same will be next opposite side, next pin. So like that serially it will come up to here 40. So this is called board pin. So this will be your board pin. And what you are seeing here, GPIO 0 to GPIO 3, GPIO, this is called BCM. Okay. So this will be under the program. If you write, if you select the BCM, okay, BCM means that is Broadcom, because Broadcom chip is used in that. So for Broadcom, this is your GPIO. So in program, you have to use this GPIO if you declare initially as a BCM. Okay, if you declare as a board, then you can use your this physical pin, that is your board pin. Okay, so in two way you can do the pin selection. Okay, and in this, if you see, this is 5 volt, this both red is 5 volt, and here this is 3.3 volt. All this black color is ground. Okay, and in this whatever this you are seeing in purple, all these are for SPI protocol, that is called serial peripheral interface. Through SPI protocol you can connect some of the devices. Like ADC in Raspberry Pi does not have any inbuilt ADC. So if you want to interface any of the analog sensor, you have to connect additional ADC, and that ADC you have to connect through the SPI protocol. So we are making that ADC. Okay, we are manufacturing the ADC boards. So with that board we can connect with this. So I will show the board and connection. So here you can see, like, you have MOSI, MISO, CLK, and you have say this one C0. So these 4 pin required to connect to interface with the SPI protocol. And here again we have another green pins, what you are seeing, all are GPIO pins. So with this you can connect your sensors. Okay, and you have here this 2 pin. This is like orange color. So this orange color is your serial communication. TXD will be there and RXD will be there. And for I2C protocol, you have this yellow color, that is for I2C. One will be for data, another one will be for clock. So this will be for data and this will be for clock. Okay. So these two, similar to Arduino, you have option in the this GPIO pin for connecting your this serial pins, and you have SPI pins and you have I2C pins. Okay, so this is similar to the Arduino. So there is no difference in this. And also one thing is, like, all the input and output of the pin will be 3.3 volt only, not 5 volt. If you give 5 volt input to the Raspberry Pi, your chip may get damaged. Okay, so be careful. Suppose your sensor is 5 volt, then you have to convert that 5 volt to 3.3 volt, either through voltage divider method or through your logic level converter. Okay, So with the help of a logic level converter or voltage divider, you can reduce your sensor voltage to 3.3, and then you can feed into this one. So that is for digital sensor. Okay. So digital sensor, if you have 5 volt, you can reduce to 3.3 volt and you can connect it. Okay. So this is a short explanation for this, and I can show you on the desktop we have software related to the Raspberry Pi. Yeah. So here we have a Raspberry Pi software. You will get in ISO format. Okay, and you have to load this into the memory card. So to do that, what you have to do, here we have software. Okay, and this software called Win32 Disk Images. Yeah. Okay. So once you open this 132 disk image, sorry, Win32 disk imager, you will have like this. And here once you say you put a memory card and you connect your card reader, here in device it will come, whatever drive is there, drive E or D, it will appear and will come here. In that case, you have to go to image, and in that image file, whatever file you have seen in the desktop, this image file. So this is Raspberry, this is two version. This is a Raspberry Pi GC and this is Stretch. So latest version is a Stretch. You can go and select the disk image. So once you select, it will come here, and your chip is here. Then these buttons will be enabled, and you have to click on the right. So once you click on the right, your memory card will be once it is completed 100%, then you can remove your memory card and you can connect to your Raspberry Pi. Okay. So once you connect to your Raspberry Pi, okay, in that case you can you can start using the Raspberry Pi. You have to connect the monitor and keyboard and mouse. Okay, and you can directly start working on the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so I have Raspberry Pi now, but I think it will take very long time to long time to explain and to show in the real time. So we have Raspberry Pi, and here you can see like we have board. Okay, so here I have board, and back side you can see here this is memory card and this is inserted over here. Okay, so once I power this, then in that case it will turn on. And how to connect Raspberry Pi? If you don't want to connect your monitor, but you want to access your Raspberry Pi, you can do it. So what you just need is to have internet connection in the Raspberry Pi. You can take your access of the Raspberry Pi virtually in your computer. So once you take that access, you can see whatever it is displaying in the normal display connected to the Raspberry Pi. Same thing it will display in the remote computer also. So now to do that, what you have to do, you have to turn on the Raspberry Pi and connect with the internet. So once you connect with the internet, you will get IP address. Okay. So once you get the IP address, you have to have the software in your another system. And here once you scan this, you will get the IP address of the devices. Okay. So once you get the IP address of the devices, you have to select. Suppose here this is disabled. So before I connected Raspberry Pi. So similarly, it will appear, and this will be in blue color. Okay. So it will show Raspberry Pi, and here will be your IP address. Okay. So once you get the IP address, you are good to go to connect with the Raspberry Pi. Now you have to have one software called VNC Viewer. Yeah. So you have to open the VNC Viewer. Okay. And here you can see lot many times I have connected Raspberry Pi, so that a screen you can see whatever first screen will be there. And with this Raspberry Pi, suppose our IP address is 30. Okay. So here is the 30. Last time I have connected this 30. Okay. So once you click on this, okay, you can put your IP address in this column 192.168.1.30. Okay, or 30. So once you put this and enter it, so if your Raspberry Pi is available, okay, if it is turned on and connected to the internet, then you will get this. Okay, then it will ask you for user ID password. So once you put the user ID password, you can see as a display here with your Raspberry Pi display. Okay, so this is the way you can connect with you can just start with the Raspberry Pi, and you can start learning. Okay, maybe in future if I connect for another session, then probably I'll try to bring Raspberry Pi full demo, like along with programming and other stuff. But as of now, I am giving overview only. That's all for Raspberry Pi. Okay. Yeah. Anyone have question on this? Because Raspberry Pi. Yeah, how much it costs? Sir, yeah, Raspberry Pi is very much costlier compared to the Arduino. Arduino you can get around 450 rupees, where in Raspberry Pi it will come around 3,500, maybe more or less. It will come around this range. Okay, so it's a bit costlier. And while playing with this, you have to be very careful, because in case of any short circuit or anything, you will just lose 3,000 rupees. So have to be more careful with the Raspberry Pi while working with this. Any more question? Okay. Now I'll talk about that industrial practices I told. Okay. What do we do to make any of the circuit? What do we do to develop the product? Because in electronics industry, either we'll be developing product, okay, related to any circuits. So that depends on the different requirement, okay, and with the circuit for the product, okay. So nowadays, currently, if you see for any of the product, you have to first have your circuit if you are planning to have your product developed. So first of all, you have to have circuit designs, and you have to have your product other external designs like outer body, cabinet designs, and etc. There are so many things in the industry, so you have to have follow one by one. So when you are planning to develop anything, first of all, requirements should be clear. Okay, so that is one thing. Here I will write. So one thing will be your requirement. Okay, so first you have to first of all, I'll talk about project development life cycle. Okay, so in project development life cycle, that is called, as per my understanding, it is called PDLC. Okay, in software development, it will be like SDLC. And in project development life cycle, there will be many steps to develop the project. So first will be your like analyze, okay, plan. So first will be plan, then second will be your analyze, okay, third will be your design, okay, then will be your build, okay, and then five will be your five will be your design, build, test. Okay, just a second. I have covered like two things. One is Raspberry Pi board details and their pin configuration. And today I'll be explaining about the project hardware development life cycle, and then we'll be giving brief about the project development and its application, and also for what are the process is there if we are planning to develop any of the project, and what are the software will be used, and what will be the procedure followed. So those things I will explain. Let me share my screen now. Yeah, so yesterday I have explained two things. That is, first is Raspberry Pi. Let me open that. Once again, I will recap. Yeah, so here I explained about Raspberry Pi. In Raspberry Pi, I said like memory card is needed to put the operating system because it will run on the operating system, and we have to burn that operating system using Win32 disk imager software. And here you can see like your power supply pin. You can connect 2 ampere adapter because it consumes Raspberry Pi consumes little more power compared to Arduino, because Arduino will be taking some milliamps, but it will take in amps. Power consumption will be more because in this processor and graphics and other things there, so it will take more power. And here we have this for HDMI connection, and this will be, you can connect your Raspberry Pi camera, and this is for your audio jack, and here is this is for Ethernet port, and you have all 4 USB port, and all these pins are called GPIO pin, general purpose input output pins. In this, few pins will be power pins, few pin will be GPIO general purpose input output pin. So other than power pin, the remaining pin will be GPIO pin only. So you can see like this red 2 and this one, both these are positive like 5 volt, and this is 3.3, and all black color, that dot you are seeing, that will be your ground. And other than that, all will be normal GPIO. And within GPIO, few pins will have a specialty of for communication, like these 2 pin can be used for I2C. These 2 pins can be used for TXD or XT serial communication. And here all this like purple color pins, these will be for your SPI protocol, and all other this yellow color, this will be for your I2C again. Okay, so for I2C we have 2 things. Main I2C will be this one, and this will be for EEPROM. Okay, so that's all for this one. So you can try out this one, and programming language for Raspberry Pi will be Python, and directly you can write the program in the Raspberry Pi itself. And to connect Raspberry Pi, either you can connect your desktop and keyboard and mouse, then you can log into the Raspberry Pi and can write the program. If you don't have keyboard and mouse, then you take access of the Raspberry Pi in your computer, remote access, and then you can write directly program in your system. For that you need advanced IP scanner, from where you can detect the IP address of the Raspberry Pi, and then with the help of that IP, directly you can log in through your VNC viewer. Okay. Now I was explaining about hardware or project development life cycle. So here is the process. Okay. So whenever we think about any project, like maybe your mini project or major project, even in our industrial project, okay. So these are the process through which we are going. Okay. So first of all, we have to define the plan. When once we think about the project, okay, we are planning to make a project which will work in this way. Just consider like line follower robot. So that is one small project which, if we plan, what we have to do. So as part of planning, we have to think, okay, so we are going to make a robot which will run on the particular this line, and also it has to stop. So those are the requirement. Okay. So you have to understand that. So that will be your page of plan, that will be your in planning phase. Okay, so you have to understand the requirement, and accordingly one you can take the decision. Okay, for the further step. So once you plan to make the hardware, once you plan to make the project, then you have to analyze that. Okay, so for the particular project, what are all the components required? Okay, what are all the programming language required, what is the software required? So those things will be your analysis phase. Okay, so once you plan for the project, so planning will be your requirement, and analyze will be your first phase of the after planning. Okay, so once you plan, you have to start from the analyzing. Okay, so planning will be your basic building. Suppose you have planned and you have given someone to develop the project, so first you will plan, okay, you want to do this project, and then you will come and give to me. Then I have to analyze, okay, which project you are giving, which project you are trying to do, what you are trying to do in that. So I have to analyze the requirement, I have to analyze the components required. So similarly, like if one person is doing end-to-end solution, then he has to do all this process. So first they have to do the planning, then analyze. In analyze, they have to keep track of all those requirements, software requirement, hardware requirement, and any other requirement like power management, those things you have to analyze. So suppose you, whether you are going to power through battery or you are going to power through adapter, so or you are going to power through solar. Okay, so based on that only you have to go in the next phase. Okay, just a second. Okay, so once your analysis phase is complete, then you have during analysis phase itself you have to arrange the component. Okay, you have to order the component, you have to design the PCB. So these things will be under your analyze phase. Once it is coming to build, okay, so in build phase you have to assemble the circuit, you have to build the project. Okay, and once you build that, then you have to once that building process is completed, then you can go to the testing phase. Okay, in testing phase you have to do all kind of testing, like over voltage, over current, uh, and you have to test for the positive testing, negative testing, like, and also maybe in different environment. Okay, so that you have to do. And then once your testing phase is completed, and then you can go for the deploy. So what does deploy means? You will put this project into the real application. That will be your deploy. Okay, so once you deploy it, circuit will be working. And suppose you have changed your version, you have changed your you have upgraded your project. In that case, if you want to retire it, okay, so then suppose you are adding some features, that in that case you will be removing it from the deploy. So you will be going to the retire phase. Just consider for a phone. Okay, I'm giving example for phone. So sorry. So for phone, when that mobile manufacturing company, they decide to launch the phone, okay, and you plan to buy, so how whole life cycle will be there. So they will plan for the model, okay, and they will plan for the features. Once they will plan them, then they will go for the analyze phase. In analyze phase, again they have to check which processor will suit for that, which controller will suit for that, and which mm, like board and other components required for that. So those things will be their analysis, and then they will build the phone. Okay, and after building they will test in their lab, and after testing they will send in the market, they will sell. So here between test and deploy there will be so many marketing chains. Okay, so a distributor will purchase, and so those things will not be here because that is not part of the this process. So then your phone, that phone will come to you. So that will be, that means it is actually deployed, so you will be using it regularly. So that is deployed. Okay, now same company has launched another phone. Okay, so same process, they will plan, they will analyze, they will build, they will test, and again they will come to deploy. So in that case you are trying to buy new phone. Okay, so your old phone features you have to retire it. You will just dump it, or you will resell it, or you will exchange it. So that will be your retire phase. So your previous version you will retire it. Okay, so this is whole life cycle of the project. So from plan to retire, so all these all these 6 steps will be there. Okay, yeah. Now coming to the real-time project, like how we do. So here you can see this is a software where I use. There are so many software where you can design for the schematic. Okay, so in schematic, currently I am making some of the project, like I will explain. So so I am designing some hand sanitizer related development board. Okay, so these are the development yeah, so these are the development board which we have designed recently, and also we are designing some more types. Okay, So here you can see we have taken some of the video, we have taken some of the images, okay, and after making that we have done testing also. So we have these things. So here I'll go through the process wise, okay. So first what I did, I planned for the project, okay. So I want to make a circuit, I want to make a kit which will be helpful for the hand sanitizer, like that will be touchless hand sanitizer, okay. So you have to dispense some 2 ml 3 ml of the hand sanitizer in hand once you place it. So what will be the part of that? So requirement is, once we place the hand, then there will be sensor which will sense whether you have, okay, your hand is there. So then after sensing, it will turn on either motor or solenoid valve, and it will give particular quantity of the uh, sanitizer, okay. So this is requirement, basic requirement. Now after that we have to define, okay, so first thing will be of this one. During analysis stage you have to understand which sensor we are going to use, whether IR sensor that will be sensing the obstacle, or whether it is ultrasonic sensor, okay, that depends on. So we can choose, okay. So suppose I have choose ultrasonic sensor or IR. So if I want to give option for both, then I can put both, okay. So that is one thing. So just consider as a IR sensor, and once we given the IR sensor in the design, then we have to design a board. Okay, so once that will sense, then signal will go to the board. Once it goes to the board, that board has to supply power to the motor, or it has to supply to the solenoid valve. Okay, so that is my analysis I did it. Okay, so after analysis done, then I thought of circuit development. Okay, so my requirement will be first to understand the input of the sensor, then to turn on the motor or solenoid valve for a short time. Okay, so that was my understanding, and that was my requirement, okay. So once I understood this, okay, so for a dispenser I have to have control over the motor and SV, and there will be power also. So how much power we are going to use, what is the rating of the motor, what is the rating of the solenoid valve. So those things put together I have to analyze, okay. Accordingly, then once I analyze, then based on my knowledge and experience, I have to design the circuit, okay. Then I have started building circuit. So here I can see, I'll give you just example of one timer based circuit. So here I have input power, and which will go to the voltage regulator, and from voltage regulator it will go to the timer. And here we have option to connect to the sensor. Once sensor will sense, it will activate the timer. So timer will start for a moment, like for maybe for 1 second, 2 seconds, and then it will give the output here. In output you can connect motor or solenoid. So this was my requirement, okay. So similarly, if you see project wise, recently I have developed this many project, okay, related to hand sanitizer. There are some special design of the IR sensor also, okay. So currently, currently related to project, I am working on the some special kind of, just a second. Yeah. So a special kind of IR in the design. So generally IR sensor will have infrared transmitter and infrared receiver. Okay. So here you can see this is TX and this is RX. But in general, whatever current IR sensor you will see, in that IR sensor, it is getting affected by the light. Okay. So that's a one kind of problem we are facing, and for that I have got solution also, and I'm working on that. Okay. So generally what will happen in any IR, this is just to keep in mind, if you bring that IR in the sunlight, okay, so that IR sensor will give you incorrect data, like incorrect result, because sunlight also having infrared. So automatically your receiver will sense that sunlight, and it will make your IR sensor high. Even though there is obstacle or not, it will give you high, okay. So that is one challenge which everyone faced, and I started working on the design, and I have got some IR sensor design also, which is yeah, this IR sensor one type TXRX you can see, and another is this one, okay. So this all IR sensor will be based on the different concept, okay. not in the normal concept, and it will avoid the sunlight. So there will be, that's why I mentioned here SF. SF means sunlight filter. It will filter the sunlight. It will ignore the sunlight. Okay, that is one thing. So once my target was to explain the process. Okay, so here first I have to build the schematic. This is called schematic. Okay, so during build phase, okay, I have to build the schematic of this. Once I build the schematic, then I have to export it into the PDF. Okay, so I have exported it into the PDF. So here you can go and you can export this into the PDF. Okay, so once you export this, your diagram you can see over here. Yeah, so you can see your diagram here. Okay, and this schematic you can send to the PCB designer. Okay, you can send to the PCB designer who will design your PCB, and then they will fabricate it. Okay, so if I send this design to the designer, what they will do, they will send me a PCB in this format. Okay, so I have to give like placement where has to be this IR sensor. So here just I made one thin, like very low width sensor. So this will be 15 mm only, and length will be 100 mm. Similarly, so for this here will be IR, and here will be our adjustment port, which will adjust the time and which will adjust the sensing distance. Okay, so once I give the because these things, if I don't know the PCB designing, okay, then only we have to give the schematic to the PCB designer. So once you give it, according to your connection, according to your part value, they will design this circuit. And once they design, they will send to you for the confirmation. So once you confirm, okay, my design is okay, it looks fine, then they will go for the processing. Okay, once they process it, then you will get the bare PCB. Okay, so how is the bare PCB? And during your this development, what you can do parallelly you can order the component. Okay, so because this process will take a PCB, whole process will take around 1 week. Okay, so this designing they will take 1 day, sampling they will take 3 days, and sometime it will take 5 days also, and put together it will take 1 week minimum. Okay, so once you get the once you give it for PCB design, you have to, meanwhile you have to order for the component. So you can order component from the either from online, or you can get it from the local market. That depends on. Okay, and then after some time you will receive the bare PCB. Okay, so let me check if I have photo of bare PCB. Otherwise I can show you in the camera. Okay, so I'll show you the bare PCB. Now let me bring it. Yes, you can see here like this will be bare PCB, and for sensors this will be the bare PCB. Okay, you will get it like this. Okay, so once you get it, okay, then you have to solder the component. So okay, so once you solder the component on the PCB, then you have to test it. Okay, whether how much power it takes and everything. So you have to connect to the power, and you have to check the whether your output is coming as per as expected or not. Okay, so that is the another process. So once we assemble it, okay, yeah, so once you assemble it, so the circuit will look like this. Okay, if it is big circuit. Okay, so this will be your top view of the circuit, and from back side track if you want to see. So because here I asked especially to put white mask, because my this current circuit it should be copy protected. Okay, because this design and all is new, so I want to avoid to copy. So if this track will be there, people can copy. If the track will be hidden, then they can't copy. Okay, so this is one thing. for the new project and all, we should try to avoid the cloning. Okay, so cloning is also one part which people will do here in the general market. Okay, so here I have asked to put white mask, so you can't see the track. Okay, but you can see the soldering. So once we do the soldering, and after soldering, then we we plug into the power. So here in this image you can see we have connected sensor, and we have taken photo. And for testing purpose, we do have some, yeah. So once we do that, during testing phase we have to check this. Here you can see we have to, yeah. So here you can see I have taken we have to measure the voltage also. So when you once you build the circuit, then you have to give the power, and you have to check the power at each level. Okay, whether your circuit power is correct or not, whether any track having issue, whether any mistake is there in the PCB. So you have to measure the power first at every level. Okay, and then after that you connect the chip, so that you can avoid the chip damage. Okay, and once you do these two things, routine test, that will be your voltage test in the circuit at different level, and then after connecting the IC, then you can check for the functional test. Okay, so what are all the testing I said? That is normally will be your voltage test, and that will be normally we can say it as a routine test. Okay, and then will be functional test. Okay, so a functional test, like whether it is working or not, that will be your functional test. Okay, so once we do the functional test, we have to connect the hardware in this, whatever output we need. So here I have created a video, but this is in Hindi. I can explain you in English. Okay, so here I have connected one this board, that is control board for the hand sanitizer. And here I have connected IR sensor, and here I have connected a motor. Okay, here you can connect solenoid valve also. So if you can, if you, okay, so in this it is not full.
जैसा कि मैंने पहले एक्सप्लेन भी होगा कि जो है ऑन होते ही स्विच कर जाएगा, ठीक है, ठीक है, वही प्रॉब्लम जो है जनरली बोर्ड में आता है.
So you can see here once we keep hand, then motor will turn on and it will turn off. It will turn on for a few seconds and it will turn off. Okay, so this is the process, like what I have said you, it was for the requirement. So that was the requirement, like to turn on the motor for few seconds and then to come back to turn on and get the sanitizer for a small quantity. Okay, so those testing also I have done. That testing. So similarly, like if you are developing any project or if you are developing any circuit, okay, so it is not like if it is not customized circuit, then you can buy general circuit, like Arduino and all is general, which is available in the market. Okay, so you can buy those general circuits, and you can connect that. So that is called development board. Okay, so you can buy Arduino development board, from which you can connect the sensors and you can connect the actuators and you can use it. Okay, it is not all the time you can just make a PCB itself. Okay, so PCB is industrial practice. Suppose it goes in the volume, it goes in the quantity. In that case, we have to make. Sometime for a single piece, one piece, two piece, three piece also we are making. That is very rare, but we are making it if it sells in quantity, if we use it in the quantity. Okay, so here I have some maybe testing video also. Let me check. No, in this we don't have testing video. I have uploaded to YouTube and you can check it. Okay, so the testing video will be also there, because final testing we have to check like whether it is giving in proper amount or not. Okay, so that will be your final testing. So I will show the final testing also.
Hello guys, today we have made one project in C.
Yeah, so here I have done testing. Okay, so in this you can see in this we have circuit for control circuit, and here we have motor pump, and here we have solenoid valve. Okay, so this is the final testing of the circuit where I can assure that okay, whatever quantity we expected and whatever was our target to achieve and what was our design requirement that we get in the planning phase. Okay, so that requirement we have to fulfill. So you can see here, okay, so here we have water bottle which is connected to the motor. This is small pump motor, and here we have SV, that is solenoid valve, and here we have control circuit. Okay, and in this you can see here IR sensor is there, which if we keep the hand, then it will detect. Okay, so this is just kind of on real time testing, so you can see it. Yeah. You can see how quantity like what we fix we should get. So this is our target. So to get 2 to 3 ml. Yeah. Yeah, so we need around 2 to 3 ml. So now you can see like we started thinking of the making circuit. We understood the requirement. Then we designed for the PCB. Then we got the PCB. We build the PCB and then we test the PCB. Okay, and now we will be using this in the project. Okay, so we have done that also. And one important thing I wanted to show you, if you develop any project, okay, or product, you have to check for the life cycle. Okay, what is life cycle means? Like like reliability, or we can say like usability or usage cycle. Okay, so I can check like for any circuit or any project whether how many times it will work. Okay, minimum, suppose if I give warranty for 1 year, in 1 year how many times this dispenser can be turn on turn off, that will be maximum time. Okay, so I have performed some of the testing. I need to find that video and I can show you. So what I did is I have put that in the I have put that in continuous testing, and for the quality and quantity and for reliability, for voltage fluctuation, for those things. Okay, I have tested that. Let me open that. Then I will show you. Yes. So here you can see. Sorry. Yeah. So here you can see, like I have fixed it. This is our final product. Okay, what we have made with that kit, and then we have to make the enclosure also. So we have fixed tank, we have fixed circuit, we have fixed valve, and we have put it for the continuous testing. Okay, that is life cycle test. I am saying this like equipment life cycle test. So how many time it will work continuously? Like in a day, suppose 300 person is using this, then 300 into 1 month and then into 1 year, like we have multiplied and we started testing. So here you can see I have just fixed a motor, okay, which will be continuously rotating and will be taking that arm in front of the sensor, okay. So that means it will trigger the sensor. So we can keep this in the continuous uh, on mode, and we can just watch it, okay, whether it will work perfectly or not, okay. So this is one kind of testing, okay. So for project or for any product, this is product testing. So once we develop the product, we have to have the proper testing, which is one kind of industrial measure, and it is very very important, okay. So now you can see this, okay. So this is the final. So whenever it will trigger, here there will be one LED which will glow, okay. So that means like it gets triggered. So you have to keep this in continuous mode for minimum. Suppose if I'm giving warranty of 1 year, then I have to calculate the number of time it will switch, and we have to test that. So whether any problem comes before those testing we have to do. So this was like industrial practices and what we are following for any project development or product development. Just I gave overview, which will help you. And one thing, very important thing is to remember this life cycle, okay. So once you go for the interview, definitely they will ask about this, okay. So okay, you have developed your project, final year project in your during college day. So my question would be like, how do you develop? What are all the process involved in the project, okay. So what you did, what was your contribution, okay, what did you learn from that? So these are the general question, you have to be prepared for that, okay. So this is for placement related thing. So basically if you say that, okay, if they will see in your resume, they will see your profile, like marks, what language you know, and what project you have worked on. So that is very important part. So because in everyone's everyone's resume there will be all those general things like personal details, and then education details, marks, those things, and especially they have to mention about the project. So they will focus on that part, okay. Yeah, so sir, some companies say that some product of that can assure the work of 10,000 hours. So do they actually check for the 10,000 hours, or do they use some calculation? No, mostly they will do some calculation. Okay, they can't do it. Some people will do, some company will do for the sum of the product, but all the product it is not possible to check in the real time, because just consider for our case, if we make in the real time for 10,000 hour, then how many like days it will just cross simply. So when we will be able to build the project, when we will be able to sell the product, okay, that time maybe by the time market will go off, okay. So currently due to corona period and covid period, people are just, this is hand sanitizer and all becoming mandatory things, okay. And people now they have started using in day-to-day life, and it is becoming generalized product, okay. So just consider a case where if I'm developing this product, okay, and if I launch it after 1 year, and by the time if vaccine comes and people will start using vaccine and they will not be afraid of, and then they will again ignore hand sanitizer, then they will not buy, of course they will not buy it, okay. So at that time I will lose the market, I will lose everything, okay. So in that case we will not be testing for the this many hour, but number of life cycle test I can do, because just consider in a day 300 people will be coming at the entrance and will be sanitizing their hand, okay. So I can't bring 300 people and I can't ask them to stand in the queue and to have this. So instead of that, just it will be like based on technical, we will check. Okay, so each time when they will put the hand, it will detect as an obstacle or object. Okay, so instead of putting in the real time to the man, I have kept that motor to rotate, and that will be acting like one person coming every 2 seconds or 3 seconds like that. Okay, so you cannot check practically for everything, but you can check virtually or you can check in the some other way. Okay, like for truck manufacturer and all, they will check for some time, like in all the kind of roads, all kind of environment, they will continuously run, they will build the track of the testing. Okay, there will be some stone over there, there will be some ditch in the road, there will be they will put mud on the road, so they have track of testing. So it depends on which kind of how we are testing. Okay, but it is not like that always they will also send for in the real time. If it is for mining application that they are making the truck, then sometime they may send, but sometime they will make the scenario of same thing, same loading capacity, same kind of inclination. So those virtually they will create in their campus, and then they will test it. Okay, so just consider a scenario. You are seeing a movie. In movie you see that Kim Star now they become king, and there is big building over there. So do you think they will make building over there, and that big building, because that requires 1,000 crores or maybe some more than that to build that building, and then they will shoot it. So it is not like that. They will build some with the wood, they will build with the some virtual thing, and then they will try it. Okay, so all the time practically 100% test is not possible. Okay, that's all. Okay, so this is your important part. So I was talking about the question. Okay, so when you may mention about your project in the resume, definitely they will be asking. Okay, so if you have done this, then what kind of controller you have choose? Why only that controller you have used? Why not others? What do you know? What is the special features in choosing that controller? So when you make the project, be sure about your requirement. Okay, be sure about your hardware what you have used, and also what are the process you have followed. It's just not like that, just mention like, okay, we have done the project. That doesn't mean like you are well experienced in the project. Okay, for writing they can write. So by asking the question, they will understand how much grip you have in the particular field. Okay, and some question they may ask irrelevant question, but you have to answer. Okay, but for that we have to be very conscious, we have to be very careful, and you have to be little intelligent. Just kind of basic thing they will ask. So my question, a simple question I'm asking, in transistor how many PN junction will be there? Okay, that they may ask. Certainly they will ask you, oh, in transistor do we have PN junction? Okay, but I have studied only diode is having PN junction. Okay, so it will be confusing. So you have to be sure. Okay, if the transistor is there, and in transistor is a combination of two PN junction bridge. Okay, so you have to remember those things. Sometimes suddenly they will ask. Okay, so I'll give you explanation of myself. They ask like, using how many transistor, okay, we can make AND gate. They asked me. Okay, AND gate or something they asked. So I did not remember actually. Okay, so I can, if I say like, sir, I don't know, then what will be the answer from them? What they will say? Okay, this guy doesn't know. So in some case, if you are sure that, okay, this question is irrelevant, and guy who is asking also is not sure, in that case you just throw away some answer. Okay, don't be simply silent. Okay? If they are, so what happened in my case, they asked using how many transistor I can make AND gate. I said, sir, 13. Okay, so I said like that, but that is not fact. Okay, it is not like 13 we have to make it. Okay, so that was like okay, yeah, so that was like, it was amazing question. Okay, how with using how many transistor we will make, even I didn't know that, but I told 13. Then he repeated question, using how many transistor, minimum transistor, using how many minimum transistor I can make AND gate. I said, sir, 3. Okay, so that means when he asked that question again, So I became sure, okay, this guy really he doesn't know. Otherwise, in first attempt itself, he will say, no, your question, your answer is wrong. Okay. So if if you are sure about some question that is irrelevant, no problem. You answer also irrelevant answer. Okay. That is one thing. That will be just from them, because they might not be subject expert of that, but they will be asking, because some people will be belonging from HR background, but they will ask sometime because they have studied in the college and simply they will throw away the question. Okay. That is one thing. Another thing is when you are talking about your project, because that is very, very important. You have to be more confident on that. Okay, what you have done and how it is working, and what are all the components you have used in this, and what are all the process you have followed this. So just for example, if you explain about your project and you explain in this way, sir, when I decided for the project, first I planned well, I planned for these things, I planned for that thing, then we have analyzed the requirement, we have analyzed for the circuit, we have prepared circuit diagram, then we have ordered the component, after receiving we started building, and after building we tested it with the help of multimeter, we tested with the testing equipment, we tested with the power supply, like that. And then we finally, after finishing it, we deployed it for the real time, we tested for some time, and our project was working, and we got good response. And since this has this new feature, okay, and because normally if you say, okay, I have made project simply like, okay, I have made with this, you have to give some detail about that, because that person doesn't know. Just consider I am blank, okay, I don't know anything about your project, and if you are trying to explain me, how you will explain? So you have to explain in same way. Suppose there is a person, okay, who doesn't have hair, but you want to sell the comb, okay, then in that case you have to impress him, okay, you have to say to him. So this is kind of marketing. You have to market yourself, okay. In case of technology also, so if you see in the technology perspective, if any company which is developing some new software product, which is developing some of the hardware product, they have to market themselves, okay. So currently I have also built this equipment, so now I have to market, I have to sell that, so I have to give the features of that, I have to say to them how this is different from the market, okay, what are the features it will have, what are the testing we have done, how it is certified, okay. So those things, okay. So you have to be more confident on that. And also, apart from the project, kindly do some training, and like industrial visit, industrial training, you have some additional certificate, so that just example I will give one simple example why that is needed in case of placement is, because once they see your profile, they will be seeing mostly about the project and extracurricular activity, because whoever came in the college, definitely they will be going to class, they will be obtaining some mark, and they will be getting a degree or certificate, okay. So that is generalized thing. Apart from that, what do you do, okay, whether you are participating in any sports, we are participating in cultural, you are participating in any technical fest, okay, those things they will consider, okay. So if you want to get placed in the company, you have to do little extra, okay. They will think on, okay, so if I am paying 10 lakh to this guy, I am paying 10 lakh to this guy, so this guy will deliver what I am giving, and this guy will deliver what I am giving, and he will develop some new thing in our project, our company, by seeing those things, and he will bring some extra features and extra advantage to that. Just kind of example, if we are going to vegetable market and there are two shops, in one shop we are buying potato, and another shop also we are buying, so both having same rate 10 rupees. But another shop, they are giving potato, and along with potato, they will give some little coriander also. Okay. So which shop you will prefer? Because along with the potato, that guy is giving some free coriander. Okay. So we will prefer that, because we are getting something extra. So something extra is needed in case of company also. Okay. So if I hire or any company hire, they will look for extra. Okay. Any more question? You can ask, no problem. Don't hesitate. Anything in technical, anything in any controller, or anything you want to know related to programming, you can ask me the question. Or in the and one thing I'll say is to prepare if you are like belonging from electronics background, and if you want to get placed in the some core company, Is PCB design for mini project is mandatory? No, I don't think it is mandatory. Mini project and all you can do with some general board, that is Arduino and this thing, or else you can do in the zero PCB, that is normal dotted PCB. Okay, so in that you can do. Can you explain in detail about the relay connection and what certification course we can do for the placements? Yeah, there will be lot of certification. Okay, maybe you can do related to the project, or maybe you can do some embedded related course. Okay, so a lot of certification will be there in the market. Okay, so that will be there. And for related to relay, I think I have explained about the relay. Okay, so what relay will have? Relay will have coil. Okay, and we'll have, let me check if any open relay image I can get it. Okay. So here you can see, okay. So here you can see this is like open piece of relay. So here you have two pin here for connecting to the coil. So this will be your coil. So what coil will do, once you give power to the coil, coil will generate magnetic field. Okay. So just consider here I have two finger, which is arm one. This will be one arm. This will be another arm. And here we have one finger. Okay. So this is normally touching in this. So this side we have magnet. Okay. So once just consider my finger, this is always touching. So this will be called NC and this will be called NO. So this is currently touching because here will be one spring and arm. So this is generally touching. When coil voltage will apply, coil voltage, due to coil voltage, magnetic field will push my arm and it will touch into another side. This will be NO. So now from NC, which is normally closed, it will go to the NO. So which will be normally opened. Now this NO will become FC, that is force closed. Okay. So now this was normally opened, and but due to force, magnetic force, it got closed. So normally there will be touching point from between this. So this relay will be triggering from this side to this side. Okay, that depends on. So here you can see you have two pin. Okay, one is here, another here. So in between there will be movable arm, as I said with the finger. So this is movable arm. So this will move from one touching point to another touching point. Okay. So because of magnetic field created by the coil, that arm will be, the arm will pull down. It will touch the another side. So that switch will be closed. So that is the function of relay. Okay, now can we build an automated water pump system for filling tanks using Arduino? If so, what basic component do we require? Yes, you can make your automated water pump system using Arduino. You need one float sensor. Okay, you need one float sensor. With the help of float, with the help of float, what you can do, you can measure the you can make sure, like, okay, your tank is filled. Okay, so you can put your float sensor either in bottom or top. So if you may need two sensor. Okay, if you want to have a big arm float sensor, you can put that. So suppose this is tank level. Okay, and it is full now. So here will be float, that will be one kind of ball which will be pushing your that ball will have some air and it is normal empty ball. So because of that, it will, arm will be up, and here will be your resistance. Okay, resistance arrangement. So this will be moving like this. Once your arm changes down, your resistance will decrease, and in this case resistance will increase. Okay, so whatever is the resistance value, here you can put sensor, and with that sensor you can connect to your Arduino. So whatever value you are getting in case of full, and if it is coming down, in that case you will have different value. So you can, when it is coming beyond some point, you can consider your tank location or level is low, and same signal you can fetch and you can give to the microcontroller Arduino, and from Arduino then you can start and stop your motor. Okay, so you can do it. That is not a problem. Okay, there are so many methods to do that. Okay. Do you search for project that you can do and company that you need? Do you search for projects that you can do and company that need them and recommend yourself to them, or do the company? Sorry, I did not understand your question exactly. Do you search for the project that you do and company that you need them? Okay. So you mean like you mean like I'm doing some project and for which other company needed, and recommend yourself to them to do the companies. How to get a job? No, your question is confusing me. How to get job projects? Kindly clarify me. Can you speak?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, do you search for the projects which you can do and the companies from which you can, the companies which want the project, and recommend your project to them that we can do this, we can make this project, or like do the companies?
Okay, I got it. Just stop there over here. So what we do, we get some requirement from many customer. Okay, so once we get the requirement, then we will start working. Or if we have some existing sensor, and if I think that if I make this, I will be able to sell this in the market. In that case, I will make some of the project or product. Okay, and I can say that okay, this is the project, this is the product what I have. Okay, and I can sell you, and this will helpful. This will be helpful to you in your existing project or existing process. Okay, so maybe some kind of sensors. What we are some kind of sensors. What we are selling, that we have to explain to them, and what is extra feature to that. Okay, and related to project, that company has to give the requirement. Suppose some company is making that hand sanitizer, so they will say, okay, I want to make in this, so they will give requirement. I want to use 24-volt motor, I want to use this and this, so they will give custom order, and based on that you can design, you can develop, and you can sell to them.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Name some companies which we can do many projects which may further use. Sir, okay. See, many project and all, try to search by your own, define some project. Okay, and for doing, I think many project only help you can take. Okay, we are helping in the mini project also. You can take help in the programming, or you can take help in case of some guidance. Okay, but directly don't buy project from anywhere. Okay, so that is one thing. Okay, and also, which project have more importance, either Arduino or self-constructed circuit? Yeah, see, self-constructed circuit will have more value compared to Arduino, but it will take some time. Self-constructed will take some time. Okay, you can do it, but you have to prepare from very early. Okay, it is not at last moment, because as I said, the PCB processing, everything will take time. Maybe something goes wrong, then again you have to print the PCB. Okay, so that is one thing. And also self-constructed circuit will be little costlier, because as I said, PCB designing minimum will be charging you around 2000 to 2500 per small circuit. Okay, so if you buy Arduino, then it will be around 450. So so that it depends on, if it is a small mini project and all, don't go for construction of the circuit. If your project is a specialized project, if your project having some specialty and you want to do it by custom, you can do it by your own circuit. Okay, in any case you can do it by own circuit, that is not a problem. But it depends on, if you have time, if you have money, then you can invest, you can do, and you can learn. So you will be getting more learning if you construct the circuit. Okay, you will get circuit design idea also.
Sir?
Yes.
I had a doubts. I am
Yeah.
Sajatan. I
Mm.
have completed my final year project in VLSI domain. I finished it.
Mm.
So I need to get place in a core company of VLSI. So what kind of course must be useful for me to get into that VLSI core company? Like
See,
any.
first of all, if you go for VLSI, first you have to be more knowledgeable on your normal embedded system, okay, like your other controller program. So you have to learn normal embedded system very well, okay, and then check for the some company. I can name some company like here near Seaport. There is Data Pattern and Texas. Sorry. Uh, that is Indus Texite. Okay, that is one company who is in manufacturing of who is making radars and who is making some other circuits. You can try in some electrical or electronics company like Bharat Electronics Limited, and that will be like that is called BEL. And there are so many n number of company which is manufacturing some maybe some biomedical equipments, who is making some other electronics devices. So you just try to get into the product company, so you'll get more value, okay, compared to the service company. So service company, there you will get like a service. You will be a service engineer, you will be maintenance engineer. But in product company, you will be developer. You will be developer. You will be starting development, and you will interact with a lot of knowledgeable person. So initially, maybe in the one thing is in core company, your salary will be very less in beginning, but as you grow like 4 5 years, your salary will be very much high compared to the service engineer or compared to the software engineer. Okay.
Yeah, sir. But to get into the company, apart from GATE mark, is there any course which must be mandatory to get into the spell or some of the core companies?
As I said, a skill, embedded skill is very very important. Okay, we ignore that, but that is the reality, because most of the EC or other electronics branch people, they will jump into the computer during placement. Okay, even I'm belonging from triple E department. Okay, but I have got placement in the Accenture, that is one software company. So I got placed into the software company. And at the same time, I had offer from one core company, that is transformer manufacturer company. But that time, that salary was like 14,000 they offered from the core company, and from software company they offered around 22,000 something. Okay, that is in hand, other than some deduction and all. So due to money, I choose software company. That was one kind of a small mistake from me, but that I corrected later. So I have started my electronics stuff in just another 1 or 2 years after getting placement. Okay, so with my own money, I started learning. I have invested in the buying kits. I have invested in learning for the kits. I started programming. I started circuit development. Okay, so those things I did. Okay, so I lived my electronics life also. I didn't left simply for in the software. So it depends on, okay, and person even who was my junior. Okay, so very very soon, like after 4 5 years, their salary become equal to me. Okay, because as I said, so they joined mm, core company, that is Indus Texite and those companies. So for first 2 years, the salary was very very low. Okay, and later they increased it very much, like it crossed after that around 10 lakh. Okay. So as I said, so if you are ready to get into the core company, you will have to work with a less salary for some time, but again you will get it, and also you will love it, and you will have more knowledge on that. But if you go from the other background like electrical and this thing, maybe in some point you have to, maybe at some point you have to face some technical related challenges. Okay, but nowadays everything is online, and these things available, tutorials available, trainings available, so people are able to manage. Okay, so that is not a big deal, but still you will be on the little back foot compared to the IT guy or CSE guy. Okay, in the technical, that depends on person to person. Some person even in mechanical or even in electrical background, they do very well compared to the EC, compared to CSE or IT guy. Okay, that depends on the person to person, depends on the mind capability. But I say, like, if you choose your whatever domain you have, whatever field you have, it will be better. Your career in future also will be bright. Okay, job security and all will be more.
Yeah, sir. To make my this belief useful, need
Hmm.
to know some useful courses related to VLSI, sir. Can you please suggest some useful courses related to VLSI?
No, related to VLSI, see, related to VLSI, you have to get into some company who is training on the VLSI, and you have to work on different project. You have to work on the different requirement with the VLSI. Okay, VLSI is a kind of one kind of chip where you will have to program. You have to simulate different thing in the same hardware. Okay, so that depends on the practices. Okay,
Okay.
if you want to go in the VLSI field, because you can program same chip with the different logic, different thing. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
But one thing will be mandatory for VLSI is embedded. That will be your first step. If you directly go to that step, VLSI, you will face challenges in understanding. You will face challenges in the other hardware related thing like pin configuration, then setup of that. Those things will be there. So mandatory. If you go for with the first step and go to second step, then that will be fine.
Okay,
Any more
thank you.
question? Yeah. Okay, we have done tracking projects using GSM, GPS, and now we are planning to make all in the single board. Is it? Yes, you can do it. Okay, Logeswaran, you can do it by designing your board. So you can do it. You can design everything in the single board. Okay, so GSM, GPS, as well as your Arduino. So Arduino will be nothing but it's a Atmega 328P IC. You can use that, and before that you have to do power supply circuit, and then you have to have GSM, and you have to have GPS. Okay, so you can do it. So just like I'll show you the board. So you can see this. This is our GSM board. Okay. Recently we have designed our. This will be our manufactured product. Okay. So here again there will be power circuit, and we have to have the GSM chip. Okay. So anyway, just consider from GSM we will be getting TXRX, which we are connecting to the Arduino. So instead of connecting externally, we can just expand the size of the board, and we can put Arduino in the same board itself. Okay. And here is our GPS. Okay. This you can see. This is LAT GPS board design. So we can design this board and all together. Now consider this board having joint. Okay, so size has increased. And again, you are not able to see.
Hello, sir.
You are not able to see
Hello, sir.
the
This is
screen.
Lokeshwaran, sir.
See the screen.
Yes,
Sorry.
sir. I can see, sir.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hello,
So
sir.
here this is GSM PCB. Okay, bare PCB. There is no component in this. You can see. Okay, and this is GPS.
Yes, sir.
Now combine together, and whatever internal connection required, externally you are connecting, right? Both GSM and GPS to Arduino. Okay. So this will be two
Yes.
things. This will be two things. Now I take Arduino also. Let me check if I have Arduino here. Yeah. So now this is 2 PCB. Okay. Now here you have Arduino. So if I join all together in the one PCB, little size will increase. Okay. Whatever connection you are giving externally, you can give internally in the PCB itself. So it will be useful and workful. Okay. So you can do it. But only thing is, as I said, you have to design the circuit properly, and you have to make the PCB design. It will work. Okay. Any more questions?
Okay, sir.
I can post my email ID if anyone having question. Okay, anytime they can post it. Okay, or they can contact their faculty. They will help you, and they can give you contact also. If you have any question or doubt, you can post it. You can loop your faculty also, so that they will come to know what challenges you are facing and how can they help. Okay. Any more question?
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving an excellent coverage to microcontroller and its applications, and also you've given a lot of inputs to the students in placement point of view, as well as like your how you have gone to your career right from the software engineer to an entrepreneur. Well,
Yeah,
thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was wonderful sessions we had all these 6 days, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, dear participants. I'm posting the attendance and the feedback form in the chat box. Probably you can fill it. Today is going to be the last day. Thank you for your very attentive participation and very enthusiastic participation in all days. On all days, that is for 6 days short-term training program on the introduction to microcontroller and its applications. So students, if you want to give a feedback orally, you can give. You can unmute yourself and you can give. Any one of you, if you can come forward for giving feedback.
I'm from Ali Muhammad Salih College of Engineering.
Okay.
I get this opportunity from my faculty. So those 6
Okay.
days very useful for me.
Yes.
I get more knowledge through this because I have less knowledge about embedded, because we
Okay.
don't have to more practical knowledge in college itself, because we have one subject in 7th embedded system. Those subjects we only study in only practical, much theoretical knowledge. We don't have much in practical knowledge. So it may useful for me project for future. My aim is to go in VLSA domain, but it may useful to get some project. I can use my career, my resume also now. That's thing I need to tell.
Okay. Thank you, Deepak. Apart from the embedded systems, which a resource person has suggested that you have to have a strong knowledge on embedded systems, apart from that, you should have a knowledge on the coding technology, that is VHDL and Verilog programming for getting into the VLSI companies. I hope you are aware of it. Have you done practicals related to Verilog and VHDL?
Not yet, ma'am, but I
Okay.
studying this quarantine leave.
Okay, so there are VHDL tools where you have to write the hardware description languages using Xilinx, FPGA, Spartan
Yeah.
tools, and what is that, Cadence tools. Okay, so Xilinx, I think you can have it very well.
Had a one
Yes,
simulation.
simulation tool. So you should have a thorough knowledge in that, apart from the embedded systems, which you are learning it based on microcontroller. Okay. Thank you, Deepak, for your valuable feedback. Thank you for being a very interactive participant. Thank you so much. The recordings of these sessions are being uploaded in the Satyabama IEI YouTube channel. Probably you must be aware of it. That Satyabama IEI YouTube channel, all the recordings are being uploaded in that.